I'm giving you examples in the New Testament where we can use these ancient methods to uncover mysteries, which is to dig up the depth of meaning. There are clues that tell us when there's depth of meaning, and then we have to know what to do with it. I'm going to take you to the passage about divorce in the Gospel of Matthew, which will offer an excellent example of these ancient methods. The dialogue between Jesus and the Pharisees offers a classic example of a first-century debate about the meaning of the Holy Writings. All right, you remember the fundamental principles, the importance of discussion and debate about the Holy Writings. So we need to discuss and debate also, and we're going to see in the New Testament Jesus discussing and debating with the Pharisees and the Sadducees. This is a fundamental principle. We have to remember this. This is in the context of the culture of ancient Israel. Now, we also have to listen for artistic language that discloses the depth of meaning. We're listening for things, that are strange or puzzling. And also, there are going to be quotations from the Old Testament that stimulate the whole memorized passage, not just the one verse. We have to go back and get the whole memorized passage. So what we see are the Pharisees saying to Jesus, "Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife for any reason at all?" Well, this is stimulating a debate. The Sadducees took the strict position. Everyone who divorces his wife and marries another commits adultery. The Pharisees took a more moderate position. And they were pointing to a verse in Deuteronomy that says if a wife finds no favor in his eyes, he can write a certificate of divorce. Jesus is saying, "Have you not read?" That's irony. Irony is language that signifies the opposite for emphatic effect. And he's ridiculing the Pharisees. You're supposed to be experts in the Bible. Don't you even know the Bible? Have you not read that he who created them from the beginning made them male and female? Well, this is quoting Genesis 1:27. What does Genesis 1:27 say? God created man in his own image. What is the image of God? It's perfectly holy. There's no sin. In the beginning, God created man in his own image. And when you first belong to God by your faith in Jesus, God sees you as righteous. In the beginning, when God created mankind, there was no sin. There was no separation between mankind and God because God created him in righteousness. Now Jesus goes on and he talks about marriage. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Now he's citing something else in Genesis. What it means is they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no man separate. In the beginning, before sin appeared through Adam and Eve, there was no sin. God was one with mankind. The husband and wife were one with no separation. No separation. They were joined together. They were one. This is not where the debate ends. In the second half of the debate, Jesus acknowledges that divorce is sometimes necessary. The higher principle is not about divorce, but about our relationship with God. Join me in the next teaching for another example of how to use these ancient methods, and I'm going to continue about this passage in divorce. And I'm going to show you how Jesus is using the whole debate about divorce, which was a big debate between Pharisees and Sadducees at the time of Jesus. He's going to use it to teach us a higher principle. And that's what this whole debate on divorce is all about. So I'll see you in the next session. I trust this series on uncovering mysteries in the New Testament has convinced you there is a much greater depth to the gospel of Christ than is currently being taught. If you want to know more, we have a self-study course called Hebraic Methods of Bible Study on Udemy that you can take at your own pace when you are ready.